Purist Winter Drive 2018. We are here with the very talented Christina Nielsen, professional race car driver.
So the first question that I had was, why is it important for you to support this event?
You know, I think there's more and more people within the racing community that are getting involved in charity projects, and I think it's really great to see that the enthusiasm for cars get to be shared while you're doing something good. I've been involved with other projects, Race for Kids. We visit sick kids in the hospital, bring a little bit of sunshine in the racing world to them. So, you know, anything that I see that involves especially kids for me is something that I always want to be a part of.
Wonderful.
That's awesome. And again, Purist, a lot of it is the cars bring us together, but so much of it is a good cause for the kids. I've got 2 daughters, so I'm really interested in kind of your take on promoting, you know, women coming into whether it be the racing world or engineering, but sort of the automotive world.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said I think it starts with the parents, because the parents really have an influence on their kids and how they grow up and how they're influenced. So for me, you know, I want to make an impact on the kids, but I especially love to see the fathers who have daughters, actually, because I see a change in mindset, you know, when they have their daughter, because suddenly, you know, it's not just a person who is maybe being told there's something you can't do, it's your daughter. Like, my daughter shouldn't be told there's nothing you can do.
Totally.
Like that, a lot of fathers think like that. So, you know, it's great to see that there is a change in mindset occurring. Paulina and I, together with Mariana, who you interviewed earlier, are really trying to put focus on this. And we're doing that by promoting the automotive industry for females within our organization, accelerating change. So, you know, our first event is coming up in February. We'll be promoting it in a couple of weeks where people can sign up to a track day that we're doing. So, you know, it's not that we want to exclude men. We want to do things with kids as well. We want to include everybody. But our main purpose to begin with is just to put focus and create noise around the fact that this is a world that is not a man's world, it's just a world that's dominated by men. And we want to encourage the women that if it's a path that they want to take, it's there for them to follow.
That's so interesting, and I know when we were talking about Paulina that, you know, for many decades, if you talk about a car event and women, typically you're talking about the booth babe or the model, and again, modeling is one of the paths, but it's interesting to see today there are a lot of kids, there are a lot of little girls, there's women out here and just doing everything, building cars, racing cars. How did you get into racing? Like, how did that happen for you? You
know, I fell in love with driving. I drove a rental go-kart and I just fell in love with the feeling of it, your adrenaline kick and the tight competition, you know, on track when you're battling. And I was just like, I went home and, you know, in the home that I grew up in, I was never told that there was something I couldn't do because of my gender. So, you know, I was just told, go for it. I've come from a very supportive family. So, you know, I hope that others see that as well and want to follow that example. And, you know, if they don't have it, I hope that we're setting examples for that these girls can follow their dreams and do whatever they want.
That's awesome. When you said battling it out and I said I actually don't know what that feels like. I'm usually in the back, like one lap down. It's more like
supervising. You know,
There you go.
You
Thank you for saying that. I'm supervising for safety. It's always for safety.
Was there any valuable lessons that the car community taught you through the years, or the racing world taught you?
I think racing is very much known as more of an ego sport. You know, you see the drivers, they're the rock stars that get the spotlight. But the truth is, especially in the kind of racing that I do in the IMSA WeatherTech Championship and sports car racing that I've been racing in the last couple of years, is that it is a team sport. You know, I'm sharing it with co-drivers, but you know, for us to create results, everyone needs to be on top of their game. The mechanics, the engineers, the strategists. If they up a pit stop, then that's going to affect the time we're going to enter the track, and you know, we're going to be behind in position. So everyone matters, and I think the beauty about the car industry is that there are so many people who share a great passion, and you know, we need each other to succeed. It's not something that you can do on your own, and I think racing, especially endurance racing, is a very good example of that.
Of course, a lot of the cars out here are very aspirational, right? So what do you say to the kids that are out there that are, or even the kids that are here that see these cars and think maybe they'll never be able to get into one, or let alone race it? I mean, what's your message out there to the kids who think of this as a dream? Well,
you know, I think it's good to have high or big dreams. And like, I have high goals that I want to reach, or big goals. And, you know, my engineers always used to say, you know, you need to execute, you need to reach your sub goals before reaching the final goal. So I think, you know, it's important to understand that there's a process, and the process can be very meaningful and you can learn a lot from it. So going through those stages and keeping your mind focused on that, eventually can lead you to something bigger. But you need to fulfill certain elements or requirements before you get to get into the best line.
Yeah. Keep doing your homework, kids.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I studied as well.
Yeah.
I studied part-time.
Right.
I have an education, a bachelor's degree in communication. So, for me, it was very important that for race car drivers nowadays, especially as we're working with sponsors and partners, which is something that I'm always trying to develop new relationships with, is that it's not only enough to just be fast.
Right.
Now, be fast behind the wheel. You need to be a good brand ambassador. You need to be able to be a good spokesperson for the brands that you work with and work with the media and with the guests. So it's becoming a full package deal for you to be a successful race car driver.
Awesome.
What would be your message to specifically girls out there that maybe were told or laughed at schools for their love for cars?
I hate the thought that there's actually girls being laughed at because, they're expressing their likes and following a passion that they have. It's the classic one, but, you got to have a bit of thick skin to be within this industry. So, focus on yourself, focus on what you can affect. Racing is a sport that's very much affected by external factors that you don't have control over. So focus on what you can do. Align yourself with good people. Like I said before, you got to work with other people. It is not an industry you can survive in without the teamwork with others. So focus on people who want to have a positive influence on your career, and the people who essentially don't have any influence, don't worry about them.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here and supporting.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, guys.